The Washington Times reported this week about the fact that more than 200 self-acknowledged non-citizens have managed to register to vote in Maricopa County, and at least 9 of them have cast ballots in federal elections. Wow. The Washington Times article addressed a study by the Public Interest Legal Foundation that questions the federal law that pushes states to register more voters. The study is the first in a series of reports by the foundation to coincide with the 30th anniversary of the motor voter law. J. Christian Adams is the president and general counsel of the Public Interest Legal Foundation, a public interest law firm. He served from 2005 to 2010 in the voting section of the United States Department of Justice. He was appointed by President Donald Trump to be a member of the Presidential Advisory Commission on Election Integrity established in 2017. We welcome him to the center ring of the conservative circus. And Mr. Adams, the study found 200 self-acknowledged non-citizens that managed to register to vote in Maricopa County. Do we have any idea how many non-citizens that haven't admitted to it have managed to register to vote here?
Well, we know it's more than 222, don't we? There is no doubt that there's lots more aliens on the voter rolls in Maricopa. It's important for folks to understand these 222 were only the ones who confessed, who wrote letters saying, please take me off the voter rolls. These were people who, announced themselves as non-citizens. So the number is definitely higher.
Why would they write letters asking to have themselves taken off of the voter rolls? Are these people of conscience or what?
No, it's a great question. The reason is because of question 12 on the immigration and naturalization form to become a U.S. citizen. Question 12, it's a federal form, says, have you ever registered to vote? And so there's an incentive for them to tell the truth, or else they're going to blow up and screw up their naturalization efforts, or maybe even get deported. So they always come clean, or I should say they often come clean when they have to fill out that form. And so they send a letter to the Maricopa election office saying, please take me off the rolls, I'm not a citizen. That's the data we've collected. So you get a sense it's probably only a tiny little fraction of the non-citizens actually on the rolls.
How is it legal for non-citizens to vote in our elections? What I hear you saying, Mr. Adams, that it is legal, in a sense, for non-citizens to vote in our elections.
It's not. It's a felony, actually, when a non-citizen registers to vote. Not exactly a felony that the Biden administration is rushing to prosecute, but it is, in fact, a felony. And the reason it's happening is because of motor voter. People are getting offered voter registration when they go to get driver's licenses, and that shouldn't be happening, but it is happening. And, sometimes they even tell the government they're not a citizen, but they're still getting registered. That's a breakdown. It shouldn't be happening.
Is this the reason why you're choosing to release the study to coincide with the 30th anniversary of this motor voter law?
Yeah, we've been doing a sweep of these records all over the country in other places and documenting the fact that non-citizens are getting on the voter rolls, contrary to what you hear in the mainstream media, that there's never a problem. Everything's peachy keen in our elections. In fact, we are collecting the hard documentary evidence that the system has broken down. Places like Pennsylvania, the state has admitted that they accidentally put 11,000 non-citizens on the voter rolls, if not more, in the last 20 years. So this is a nationwide problem, and Maricopa's got its own version of it.
We knew that there was a problem when we first heard about these federal elections, or I should say federal ballots, that people who are not citizens could end up voting on. How come we just don't get rid of that, the federal ballots?
Well, that's part of motor voters, the federal registration form. Under the federal law that was passed 30 years ago next month, if you fill out this form, then you have to be registered to vote. Now, Arizona has done something nifty by segregating federal and state elections, that if you fill out the federal form, that only gets you to vote in federal elections. But if you don't prove citizenship, you can't get registered in state elections. But this is exactly why we're talking about this issue. It's because of Motor Voter, 1993, 30 years old. It's what opened the floodgates to aliens getting on the voter rolls.
We have J. Christian Adams in the center ring of the conservative circus. He is the president of the Public Interest Legal Foundation. So at the end of the day, we still should be putting some energy into getting rid of the motor voter law, correct?
Well, it needs to be fixed for sure. For example, states are prohibited from validating citizenship. They can't ask you for anything other than it's on that form, that federal form, when you want to register for a federal election. Congress needs to fix that to allow states to double check to make sure only Americans are registering to vote. And they can't do that right now because of motor voters. So that needs to be fixed in Congress.
J. Christian Adams, I do appreciate you bringing this once again to the good people's attention, the good people of Arizona. He said it's a national problem, but it's also a problem we have here in Arizona.